I'm back here again after a long while. It's been at least 2 months since I last posted here, but I'm just gonna yap for a while and see how long this video gets and hopefully have something entertaining for you to watch in the meantime. Hopefully I draw something, a speed paint or some sort of thing like that. Hi, a small intermission. I did a speed paint. I took a thumbnail from my webcomic and made it into its own drawing. I think it turned out pretty good. So yeah, that was all. Back to PASME. Anyways, I think I'm just gonna pressure myself to post weekly. Or no, I'm not gonna tell you that I'm gonna post this time and this time, because I know I will just not do it. So instead I'm just telling you this is kind of the format I'm gonna do, and hopefully not try and push myself further, because if I do that I'm just gonna procrastinate and nothing will happen. And so I'm just gonna talk about stuff that I feel like talking about, just have a video every once in a while that hopefully gets posted more than every second month. I just want to make videos that can just be listened to while you do some creative stuff like drawing or writing, things like that, and hopefully have more akin to a therapy session or just sitting down and updating with your friend or talking with your barista. I don't know, but I've been thinking a lot about art, about my stories, what I want to do. I have lots of ideas. I listen to James Marriott. If you know him, then you're one of the real ones. I was watching him since like 2018 and when he first started making music, and he made a song named California Rain, which was a really cool and amazing song that I wanted to make music video starring my precious Matthias Holm, which you have probably seen in another video. If not, then there's a link up there to it. And I wanted to just like make an animation, very simple one, but I've not gotten around to actually sit down and do it because a lot of other stuff has happened and it's just a lot of tedious work, I guess, at least in my head. And the same is with my comic, which I kind of not done a lot digitally, so I can't really show like a speed paint or like progression type of deal. I can take photos of the stuff I've drawn, because as I mentioned in a previous video, I've started to draw traditionally, and I've also recently started to draw the outline of my comic. This is so difficult, like it's so difficult to talk without a script, but at the same time writing a script is so tedious, so I just want to do this now and just be done with it. So this is gonna be a mess because my dyslexic ass can't really handle just getting words out and remember what I said, so it makes it cohesive later. So we'll just see how this goes, I guess, and hopefully I'll learn to find my way around this. But anyways, I've drawn traditionally, as I mentioned. I started way back and I've really done it a lot. If you follow me on socials, you've seen me post sometimes when I actually do it. Been a long time since last I actually posted one, which was a Veil which was a Vane fan art. Since I'm rewatching Link Clink, I haven't gotten to the Bryden arc yet, so it's kind of fun. I drew him regardless, but he's like the most fun character to draw. His design is just awesome. I can talk about Link Click and all that stuff later on, maybe later during this, but I would just want to try and keep it cohesive and structured in a way. What I'm getting about is that I've realized drawing traditionally and writing traditionally is something I've just not dared myself to do for a long time, and it has shown me that this was what I needed to progress. I needed to not have all these tools that just makes me anxious and just makes me overdo things. I need to simplify it. I need to simplify the characters. I need to simplify the brushes I use, because I'm not getting any further. I'm just stuck the same place as I've been stuck for now 6 years, maybe 5 years. I think 2021 was really the year I started making comics. I've made other comics prior and they've all failed drastically after a few weeks, because I just can't outline anything. I have a vague idea and I just go with it. And yeah, I still have all of those comics up on a different artistic name, so you can still find it. I'm not proud of those, actually, but it's fine, because that's how you learn. You need to do it, and at least I can say I tried. And the same I can say about the story I've still been working on for years now. The Love Between Us. The comic that was supposed to just be a stepping stone to my universe of really complicated characters and expanded universe with twists and turns, and everything is planned to a T. And that's also a reason why I'm still struggling with doing anything, is that I want everything to be structured and I want everything to be perfect. Everything should be planned, make sense, and you feel like when you're reading The Love Between Us and later on you catch on like, oh, this and that, ooh, that's foreshadowing or something like that. But at the same time, this is supposed to just be a love story. It's supposed to be simple, but yet I make this complicated for myself for some reason. Just sitting down and doing it is such a difficult thing. And so I'm sitting here, not doing anything besides just talking, because maybe I will get something out of this, or I don't know. It would be fun to just update you guys and hopefully get some people interested. Actually start introducing my characters before I start publishing my comic, which I hopefully will do soon. I think I'm just gonna post page per page. I was gonna push myself to have the first few pages ready for when a new art site is launching. I've been following this TikToker called Annie Likes Webcomics, which has made a new site, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be my stepping stone. I'm gonna have something ready to post as soon as it's done. And now, as I'm recording this, she launched the site yesterday and I'm still here, and I haven't even finished thumbnailing the first chapter. So yay, I'm doing great. I love this. I'm kind of feeling defeated. I feel lost. I'm not really motivated for school either. So that's great. But it's like when I'm home, I want to draw, I want to do all this stuff, but at the same time, I beat myself for not doing a lot of schoolwork or doing all this other important stuff like doing chores or actually going out, taking care of myself. It feels like this whole story has already been made in my head. Like I'm already waiting for the live action version of my comic, because in my head I've been creating this comic for years now, and it's like, oh, I already have the conclusion. I know how this comic concludes and how this comic's ending connects to the next comic I'm making. It's good that I'm already planning ahead kind of how the other comics are gonna be and how they connect and how everything works, but at the same time, it's getting ridiculous. I can't just keep going like this. I can't just keep thinking about things and not actually committing to something. The thought should be that I make this comic that is just a stepping stone, doesn't really dive into the universe, because a lot of the other stuff is more of like what happens later on. It's kind of a domino effect. some sort, so it shouldn't really matter if I figure out something else later on, cause it won't affect this comic that I have to make first. And I can always change it. It's not like Stranger Things where people complain about things that doesn't make sense because they didn't plan ahead. And I'm like, if we are gonna complain about Stranger Things, like, sure, they did some awkward stuff in the latest season, I guess. I really liked that season. Like, it's not as good as some of the others, but at the same time, I had fun. I was thrilled. I rewatched part 1 before I started watching part 2 again, as well as watching the whole series between part 1 and 2. So like, I don't know what other people are thinking. I don't know. I'm not sure if half the people who complained even rewatched the whole series prior, but whatever. People are gonna complain about shows like that, but the problem is when people complain about them not planning ahead and doing things like that, it gets in my head and I'm start thinking like, oh, I shouldn't do that mistake. And that's dumb. That's stupid. That's my stupid brain pushing me down, trying to stop me from actually achieving something. I constantly think that if I just kept going that summer in 2024, I mean, the summer of 2024, when I first actually posted The Love Between Us properly. Yeah, Matthias was a boring character that used a bike and didn't skate, and he was more akin to me than his own character, but at the same time, I could have made it. I could have just finished it and then been like, okay, I can remake it later on, but now I can just focus on making the other stuff and just be like, that wasn't well structured and characters were kind of boring. The backgrounds looked shit. The art and anatomy was really wonky, which it probably still will be, but I mean, yeah, that's just how it is because I don't practice my anatomy a lot. Now I'm kind of lost where I'm even going with this, but like, hopefully you will see a progression throughout these videos I will make now that is just me talking, that I actually do something and maybe you will notice a difference, like maybe I'm more excited or actually manage to publish something, hopefully get some people interested in my stories and characters. I would really like that people would like my characters and felt like, oh, this is something I needed, because that's kind of the core reason why I even began making this BL love story. It was that I felt I was missing something when I was reading gay fiction. I was missing something. Colorful characters and this action-filled thing and just finding true love and just being hopeful, but at the same time have some of that more sad and tragic parts stuck in there, tragic backstories and trauma and all that parts. You know, I'm excited for this comic to be made and for people to read it, and I hope I can manage to make proper promo for this comic and that people will like it and at least some people will want to read all of it. I will probably not get that much attention when I first post it, which is the biggest issue when you make comics, is that some people don't like to read chapter by chapter or episode by episode. They want to read everything in one sitting, like I did back in COVID, where I read a whole ass story that probably took 4 years to make in a day. And I did nothing else. Because people forget stuff after a week or two, and if you post like monthly, like forget it, people are forgetting it. There's always someone who has time and better memory that will read it, and that's always nice. I don't think that's a lot. And so maybe I'll get a few people who are like that. Others are probably gonna get there when I'm close to the end, and that's just how it is. But if I get to that finish stage, then I will have a better time and more people will stay tuned for the next stuff that is more complicated and has more stuff going on and is more tedious. And I need this comic to be made and learn from this comic to actually have the tools and the awareness to make the other stuff. I don't know, for me this sounds very smart, but maybe it's just stupid rambling. But yeah, I have been talking for 25 minutes with very few drink breaks. Man, it's tiring to talk so long, but it's even more tiring to write a script, so this is the better option for me to actually just finish it. And this is how I should just do everything. I should just do everything haphazardly until I at least have something to look at that I can work on. I can edit this audio to sound the best and make more sense. And the same I can do with an outline for the comic and work from there and actually have something I can post or at least show to others that like I'm actually doing what I've been talking about for years now. See, here's proof. But yeah, if you want to get notified about new drawings I do or just look at the characters I have, you can either go on my Unveil account that I'm probably the most active on when I'm first in that drawing stage, but for now I've been very not active there. Blue Sky is somewhere you can find my drawings too. I'm active there sometimes as well. Yeah, so that wraps the first episode of 2026. Crazy to think that I'm in 2026 and have still not published my comic. Great. Anyways, I hope that I will see you sooner rather than later, but if not, I hope you have a good time and I'll see you later. Bye bye.